Does anyone out there know much about aloe vera? That's such a random question to start my video with, but I don't know if you noticed, but there's usually a aloe vera plant behind me on there. He's called Derek. And I was setting up my video this morning and Derek has like flopped. Like, I don't really understand what... Oh, Derek! He's all like fragile and limp. Hey guys, so before any of you comment down below, I know that I'm late to the bandwagon. I know that everyone has already done their 2018 favourites, but I don't care, I want to join in. I've already been recording for 9 minutes and I've literally said nothing. So today's video is going to be a 2018 favourites and like January just sort of added in there. And I was thinking about making this video, and I know that a lot of you guys have very different interests. Some of you like makeup, some of you like games, some of you like other stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave timestamps in the description for like different subjects throughout this video. So I've got some makeup, I've got some music, I've got some skincare, I have food, lots of food because I enjoy food. I have some Netflix, I have a bunch of other stuff. I'm just gonna bring everything together from my 2018 and tell you what my favourite things were right after I drink some more coffee because I'm very tired. You guys, I went to Sainsbury's this morning to go and buy some coffee so that I could film, and as soon as I got in there, went to go and pay, all the fire alarms in the building went off, so we all had to evacuate, and I was like, but I want my coffee. So I had to drive to the other side of town to go and buy my coffee, and it was too much of a trek for me, okay? I am just gonna get into this now because I have already been here for like 20 minutes and I've not actually started yet. So first up we have makeup, and my first thing I want to talk about is the Rimmel London Insta Contour Stick. Now I have very, very dry skin and I've tried loads of different like powder contours, I've tried loads of different highlights and stuff, but my skin just like blows up if I put any powder on it. So meaning I have an allergic reaction. Like, I've just realised that sounded very weird. But this thing is amazing and I love the highlight on it. Like, it's a very pretty highlight, you guys. It also stays on for like a really long time. Like, I always find that in the evening I still have a bit of highlight on, which is weird for me because usually makeup just like falls off my face the second I put it on. So next up for makeup I have the Brow Precise Pencil by Maybelline. Now I have tried so many eyebrow pencils because I am very, very fussy with my eyebrows. They have to be perfect, and if they're not perfect, I'm not going out. But this eyebrow pencil, genuinely, every single day, my eyebrows go perfect. I don't know if you can actually see it because it is so tiny. I can't twist it, but it has such a fine little pencil in it, and like, it's amazing. My next makeup favourite, ironically, I don't actually own. So my next favourite is the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray, and I know this has been like talked about for years and years and years, and I know that everyone is obsessed with it, but I only actually tried it this year. I used it on my wedding day and literally I sprayed it on my face and my makeup looked perfect. It went so well and I was so pleased with this stuff, and my best friend used it as well and she was obsessed as well. Like, it's, you guys, it's amazing. It's either gonna be really dark by the time I finish filming this video, or everything's gonna be white because the sky looks awfully snowy right now. I didn't prepare myself for snow today. Oh my gosh, was that a snowflake? Is it snowy? I don't think it's snowing. So next up is skincare and hair care. I've kind of merged these two together because there's only like a couple for each one, but still. I'm not really that fussed about makeup and stuff, but I do put a lot of money and a lot of effort into my skin because I've struggled a lot over the years with my skin, trust me. So first up is a face wash that I tried like back beginning of last year. I don't have it at the moment because I ran out and I can't afford to buy it at the moment because it's quite pricey. But I will put a picture here of it because it's like magical stuff and I'm obsessed with it. So I wasn't on YouTube during this time, but like a year and a half ago I had terrible, terrible, terrible skin. I'm gonna put a few pictures around of how bad my skin was, like at its absolute worst. And I know for some people it may not be like terrible. I don't want any comments below being like, oh, it's not even that bad, like some people have it way worse. Like, I know people have it worse, but this was really, really bad for me. Every time I went into a room, if I reacted to something like air, if I had any kind of reaction at all, my skin would start burning. And then I discovered this face wash and moisturizer. Like, so the face wash is the Ozone face wash. I don't know the actual name. I'm going to pop the actual name here right now. And also their moisturizer. Now, this stuff, you guys, like, it's expensive, but it works. Like, once I started using this stuff, my skin just wasn't sensitive anymore and it wasn't dry anymore. Like, it literally, my skin looked perfect. And I don't say that lightly because I've never had perfect skin. They are like £17 each, I think. Like, don't Quote me on that. But then I discovered a really, really cheap moisturiser that I never ever thought of before. And I know that some of you have already seen this because in my morning routine I use this and everyone was like, oh my gosh, why are you using that? But it works. So I now use the Nivea Men moisturiser. So me and my husband have this theory, okay? I think it's pretty widely accepted that men don't really care about all the fancy moisturisers, you know, they just want a moisturiser. They don't care about anti-aging or anti-wrinkle or extra glow. Like, men just don't care. And because they don't care, like, this is just a really simple moisturiser. It's just a moisturiser, you know, it hasn't got all this extra stuff that is eventually going to make your skin worse to make you buy more, like most companies do. And finally, I have talked about this one hundreds of times before. I've literally got an entire video of it on my channel, but hairburst. Now I know there's loads of stigma around hairburst. People go, oh, it's a scam, or it doesn't work, you can buy it for cheap in the shop. But I've tried a lot of vitamins, you guys, and nothing has worked as well as hairburst has worked for me. I think I ordered the 6-month supply and I had them literally every single day on the lead up to the wedding, and my hair grew back so much. Like, I had more baby hair than I even knew was possible. My hair has always been very dry, very brittle, very fine, and just doesn't grow. But while I was taking hairburst, it was a lot easier to handle, a lot easier to style. It was just so healthy. Like I say, it's a favourite of last year, it was a favourite of the year before, and the year before, and the year before. So next up on my list is music, and this is my favourite category. So I've got loads and loads of songs written down here, and I don't want to go through like every single one, so I'm just gonna like play them and have a little boogie. I need to connect it to the speaker because like it's way too quiet on the laptop. Why isn't it working? Guys, why isn't it working? Oh, I didn't connect it. Okay, I'm done now. We can just dance in this. Don't take much to stop me. I hate that I do, but now you know, don't let it go, no. Got me going. Cause girls like you from other guys like me. So I know when I come through, I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. I'd rather be with you. Don't wanna love anybody but myself. I'm all I need, don't need no help from you. You know, she's so nice. Okay, I think that's enough dancing now because like I've genuinely gone deaf. Literally, I listen to this playlist every single day, like I'm obsessed. If you guys want to follow my playlist, I'll leave it in the description below. It's a really cool playlist, just saying. Okay, so next up is everyone's favourite topic, food. So my husband is very good at cooking. He's very good at sort of mixing things together and coming up with new recipes, new ingredients that go well together. But in the last year, he's made this Korean dish, and we don't have like a name for it. It's just a Korean dish. My eyes just went blurry. Is that normal? Basically, there was a market in town and there was a Korean store. We went there to buy their food like every single day. It was so good, but it got so expensive. So Ollie was like, why don't we try and make it at home? So that's what he did. He came home, he made this dish, and it has literally become my favourite meal in the entire world. I really wish I had a picture to put in this video because it looks amazing on the plate as well. Next time we make it, I'll put it on my Insta story, so make sure you're following me there so that you see it when I upload it. Basically, you have some coconut rice, which is where you basically just put a bit of coconut oil in the pan with the rice, and then you add the water so it cooks it. And then there's these like crispy chicken bite things that we get from Aldi, but you can cook them yourselves or get them somewhere else, wherever you want. And then once they're cooked, he fries them in soy sauce and honey, and it like makes them so crispy, and they taste so good. And then on the plate you also have some red cabbage, which has been really thinly sliced, and then he spiralizes some potato, and then he just fries it to make it all crispy and nice, and then he chucks that on top and literally smother the whole thing in mayonnaise. Like, trust me, smother it in mayonnaise. It's so good. So next up is cheese boards, and I know that that's like a really typical thing that everyone loves, but me and hubby have had literally so many cheese boards in the last few months. Like, I'm surprised I haven't turned into a block of cheddar. One of the guys at Ollie's work said that he was having a cheese board that evening, and then Ollie really fancied a cheese board, so we literally had like 3 in a week, and then the next week after that we had like another 2, and we ate a lot of cheese, you guys. Okay, I need to move on now because I'm getting really hungry. So next up is my favourite shows on Netflix, and I have watched a lot of Netflix this year. Like, there's been a lot of good shows come out, so I've kind of narrowed it down to like 4. So my favourite series on Netflix this year has to be Making a Murderer. I'd be really interested to know like your guys' thoughts on like if you think he did it. Like, do you think he's guilty? Personally, I think he's innocent. I just think with all the evidence that they found for him and against him, I think there's more saying that he didn't do it than that he did. But then again, what if you just planned that really well? Like, it's such a frustrating series, but it's so good and I just couldn't stop watching it. Next up on my favourites is The Staircase, and this is very similar to Making a Murderer actually. It's sort of like someone committed a crime or they didn't, like, it's very court casey. All of my favourite series and stuff revolve around like death. For anyone that hasn't seen it, it's basically like a murder case and this guy's wife dies and they're trying to work out if she was killed or if she fell down the stairs or if he killed her, if someone else broke in, and it's just, there's so many things in it that kind of get thrown into the pot, and it's just like you have to try and make your mind up as you watch it. Next up is a very, very recent series, and that's You. Like, not You, but like the series called You. I don't know how to actually say this without sounding weird. It's such a weird series, like it makes you feel so weird watching it because you kind of like him because he's being nice to, like, what's her name? Beth, what's her name? But then on the other hand, you're a bit like, but he's a crazy stalker. Like, you don't know how to feel. It was a really weird series, but a really good series. Next, on a slightly less morbid note, is Gilmore Girls. So it was like 6 months ago, I was talking to my best friend and she mentioned Gilmore Girls and I mentioned that I'd never seen it and she was like, whoa. So I basically got ordered to watch this series and I love it so much. Like, I prefer it to like Friends, I prefer it to everything. It's my favourite. I'm obsessed with Rory and Lorelai and like Luke, and I really want to have a cafe nearby that's like Luke's because it looks amazing in there. Next up is my favourite YouTubers, like all the YouTubers that I've watched throughout 2018, or the new ones that I've discovered. So in the last year I've started watching people like Bella Fiore, Eleanor Neal, Georgia Marie, why can't I speak? Eleanor Neal, Georgia Marie, also Acacia Kersey now, she used to be Brinley, and also Sarah Therese, and she's just like shaved her head for like no reason at all, and I love her. As a girl, I can relate. Like, I know that most girls have gone through that phase of their lives where they're just like, I'm shaving my head. I'm shaving my head. Last up is a topic that I wasn't really going to include because I don't have much, but I sort of had to because my wedding dress. So next up is clothing, and as I've said, my wedding dress is like my top piece of clothing, obviously. So I got my wedding dress from a boutique down in Brighton called the Ozone. I'm gonna leave their links below because this dress is stunning. I'm gonna put some pictures around of my dress. It was completely plain, and then I had buttons down the back, and I had it very fitted. I had like a little train, and then I had a super long veil with it. It was literally the dress that I'd always wanted, and I will always be obsessed with it. It's still hanging on the bedroom wall, and I can't bring myself to take it down. Like, I love it way too much. Next up, for my favourite clothes, I have this like huge Zaffle fluffy jacket. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this because I wear this every single day, like wherever I go. Every single time I put anything up on my story, I'm wearing this coat. I mean, you guys, how cozy and fluffy is this coat? Like, ugh. I actually got this on Depop. I swapped something that I owned for this from another girl, and like ever since I got it, I've just never taken it off. I need to take it off though because I'm getting very hot. So lastly, I have this jumpsuit that I got from H&M. I don't know how to do this. I don't even have a picture of myself wearing it, so I can't even put a picture in, but like, it's very pretty. So I now have an hour and a half of footage, and I've got like half a day to edit it, so I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm not being funny, but Derek has definitely died more in the time that I filmed than he was like an hour ago. Like, Derek, what is wrong with you? Why are you dying? Let me know in the comments below what your favourites have been of January or 2018. Like, I know I'm a bit late to the 2018 thing, but let's keep it going. I'm gonna get going because I have a lot of editing to do now. If you like this type of video, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I don't know which side it is, so I'm gonna point to both. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye!